All right, this is October 5th, 6 p.m. We'll start the budget finance meeting. First up is approval of the minutes from September 7th.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any questions, comments?
Nope.
All right, then we'll do a roll call. Sean?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so that's 3-0 approval of the minutes. We will move to the downtown charrette, am I pronouncing that correctly? Charrette and plan agreement, transfer order.
So this one, oh, I'm sorry, Bill.
Yeah, this is, so we had this one on our agenda before and kind of held off while we had the downtown workshop. So is there anything, any new information you want to add?
I would only ask, I think our intent is to have another workshop before we embark on our charrette process. I think that was helpful. And if we have another workshop session, we can sort of narrow down the council's sort of parameters. And then at that point, we can schedule the charrette. So I would ask you to keep this one in committee for the time being.
Okay. Are you guys okay with that?
Yep.
Yep.
Keep it on.
I don't know if we need a motion for that.
Motion to continue to our next scheduled meeting.
All right.
Second.
All right. Any discussion on that? Seeing none. Sean?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I'm a yes on continuing to next meeting. Great. Okay, moving on to order FY 22-11, the transfer order sick leave contractual buyback.
Motion to approve.
I'll second. Contractual. Don't want to upset the contractuals.
Any questions about the amount or anything in general?
Yeah, Michael, do the numbers add up or do I have to add them up?
I'll defer to Tony.
You know this is an ongoing question from years and years and years ago.
Yep. I recall doing the budget one year and we did it on a spreadsheet and we transposed it. For some reason, we transposed it from the spreadsheet into a Word document. And invariably, there were a couple of years where the bottom line was off by not much, but it was off by some small amount. So we finally figured out how to use technology and add it all up correctly. So
Great. Don't corrupt your formulas. Okay. No other questions.
All right, Dennis, anything?
Nope.
Anything for you? No. Did I record it? So Sean, you were the first to make the motion, is that right? Or was
Yes.
it? Okay, all right, great. So I have no other questions. So the motion was to approve. So Sean,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
okay, that's 3 yeses. So that's recommended for approval. All right, the old high school buyout agreement with the town of Rainham, that's FY 22-012.
I'll move
Motion
to approve.
And I'll second.
Is this payment number one? Is this payment number one?
Number
number two.
Number two.
Of
10. No, is it 10 payments?
Yes,
I think it's no, it's less than 10.
It's
Let's
7
do
at,
it.
it's 7 at 75 at 42.
That's right.
Okay, so I was off by 2 years.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
You know, rounding up a little bit. Okay.
all right. All right. And my pencil's too slow. So that was Sean, you were first on that one, right?
No, that was
Oh,
Dennis.
that's Dennis, okay.
Dennis's turn.
My turn.
I'm sure Josh is taking great notes and just have the minutes for us. So.
When I was chairman, I took minutes
I'm taking minutes, Dennis. I'm taking minutes. I just have to.
Wowza.
If I don't slow it down, then we need a pharmacy to read my writing, okay? All right, so that was to
Type the
recommend
minutes
for
too.
approval. So Dennis, you were first for a roll call vote. So Dennis
Yes.
and Sean,
Yes,
and it's 3-0 to recommend for approval. Great. Then we move on to our ASME contractual settlement FY 22-13. This one was new to us, so anything Michael or Tony you want to fill in?
I'll defer to Tony. I'll only start by saying you approved the contract about a month and a half ago, and this is the follow-up funding for that contract.
And this includes both the FY 21 retro and the budget adjustment for FY 22.
so Tony, this in essence is a catch-up, right? Once we sign the contract, we catch up from day one,
Correct.
these amounts right here, and then we just go forward. Okay,
Yep, that's right.
All right, do I hear a motion?
motion to approve.
Second. I have a question.
Right, discussion.
So Tony, on tonight's agenda for the council meeting, we're going to refer the free cash money to us, to the Budget and Finance Committee to
Mhm.
approve the allotted amount of money to go into the accounts. So when we have that meeting, and if you're in attendance and I ask you what the balances of those accounts are
Mhm.
prior to putting any of that money in, will these monies have been taken out and be factored into what the current balance is?
They most certainly,
Okay, so I'll
There you
probably
go.
ask you that question next time we meet
okay,
for balances, before we appropriate the $4 million, you know, what is the balance of these accounts before we put any money in? I'll probably ask you that question, just so
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
do some homework over the weekend.
I will have that ready.
That's it.
Thank
Well,
you.
these are all DPW items anyway, right?
There's some general fund, because it's coming from the one-time, other
Stabilization.
one-time. You have some AFSMI employees that are in the general fund highway department.
Okay, but source of funds is from reserve to general fund, and then the use is the actual salaries, right?
That's correct.
So that's not part of our capital
No,
policy or the free cash policy.
no, that is not.
The one-time stabilization.
Stabilization is,
One-time
Yeah.
stabilization.
Yes, the fund is, that is
Yes.
correct.
Okay,
right, so we've got funds coming out of one-time stabilization,
Yes,
water reserve, special
That's right.
purpose,
That's
sewer
right.
reserve, special purpose.
that's correct.
And they're going into the general fund, and then we're doing highway, water, and sewer salaries on a catch-up.
That's correct.
So just a level of confusion might be that we do have a capital stabilization fund, which is
Right.
something different than the one-time stabilization fund.
Thank you.
But does free cash go into the one-time as
Yes,
well?
it does. Some does, it's in the
Yeah, some does.
allocation. That's correct.
Okay,
Mhm.
Well, yeah, that's fine. So I'll move to approve if we didn't already. I
you
don't
did.
remember.
Yep. Sean motion to approve. You seconded that. So
Okay,
approve. Any other discussion? All right, Sean, sorry. Yes, Sean, how do you?
yes,
vote? Yes. Dennis?
yes.
All right, and I'm a yes, it's 3-0. I believe we've exhausted the agenda.
so I do have one question, just in general, either for Tony or Michael. The free cash amount that we are certified, or it's been certified to us, what percentage of our revenue projection does that represent? Is it 7%, 6%? The 4 million versus what we had projected?
I think we projected 1.7. So If we do the math, it's twice, more than twice what we projected. However, it was a COVID year and we're very conservative in a lot of our local receipts.
Tony, we're always conservative in our local receipts.
Not like I was.
Well, I'm just, we'll talk about it at the meeting, but,
Yeah, well-
you know, I get what you're saying, but when, you know, just, I understand conservative and I don't want it to get ahead of our tips, but
Mhm.
as you know, since I've been on the council, we got to figure out a better way, not to eliminate free cash, but to get some of these revenues into recurring so that we can start using them for, you know, highway and things of that nature. And I know it's a moving bogey, but in essence, from a personal perspective, if you're on the outside looking in, 4 point something million of free cash is a bonanza.
And it's,
But-
and it's all local, it's all local receipts, pretty much.
But it's
Well,
at a particular point, we've got to look at something that gets us a little bit more in the stratosphere, lack of a better term, not the exact word I would say,
no.
around balancing the free cash versus operating income from there. And you know, we can talk about that as well, but
Yeah, and just so you know, last year we were moved down to like a 2.6, and again, just know that we had no idea what was going to happen with motor vehicle excise tax. I mean, it was so uncertain. So Sean,
Yeah.
I appreciate your concern and I understand where you're coming from. Just know it was a very different year.
Right.
no,
Yeah.
and Tony, I get that. I'm just looking at it for the last 5 years, like in general.
Yeah,
So,
fair
so the
enough.
other thing that's included, I mean, I think one of the things that, I don't want to have lost on the free cash figure is our inability to hire.
That's correct.
We have, over $1 million
Yes.
left on the table at the end of the year, just because we couldn't hire people to fill positions.
Yeah.
So
So you
that's
take
part of
that,
that.
Right, you take that 4.2 and you bring it down to 3.2 because we shouldn't be leaving $1 million on the table there. So, yep, I think there's a lot to be discussed as we go into the new budget season and the budget resolution.
But the budget resolution was 1.25, not 1.7, wasn't it? Or,
Well,
Brought it
that was
down.
for 22,
As a percentage.
as a percent for
Oh,
22.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
right.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
bring- Yep.
That is it for me.
All
So
right,
Bill-
Josh, and did anybody join for public comment?
No one joined.
So Bill, tonight, there's gonna be some things referred to us. Do you have any
Yes.
idea when you are looking at having the next meeting? Because we may try to have a special council meeting next week, just so you know, it may happen. I'm just saying, do you have any, I mean, not that what's being sent to us tonight has to be approved by the 12th, but
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you had an idea too.
Our next meeting,
I like.
our next meeting is
before.
on the, yeah, our next meeting is on the 19th, right?
Okay, right.
Is that right?
Scheduled. It's scheduled.
So we can, I mean, I don't
I
mind,
like meeting before I like meeting before the council meeting. It works
Okay.
for me. Just-
yeah. And that works
Yep.
as long as we have enough time for discussion and cover all the topics.
Right.
Yeah, Dennis, if we have a special meeting, I don't personally see the need to have a budget and finance meeting
Right.
before that meeting,
Right.
unless there's something burning, which I'm not aware of anything. So I think in my personal opinion, these have worked great. So at this time,
Okay. So unless we get something outrageous, we'll just focus on the 19th prior to the council meeting like we've done.
Yep, sounds good.
And again, just covering us, there's no public for public comments, is that right?
Nobody.
motion to adjourn.
All right.
See you in 45 minutes.
Dennis, you want to second that? We'll just.
Second, I'm sorry, second. Yep.
Okay, all right. No discussion. Sean, you're good for yes?
Yes.
And Dennis, you're good for
Yeah.
yes? Okay,
Yes.
I'm good for yes. So 3-0, and we are adjourned at 6:15.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks.